What is up, YouTube, Sportskeeda, and Kliqpod Nation? As always, thank you for joining me, your boy JG, back with another episode of This Week in the WWE. With that being said, it is Sunday morning, the morning of TLC. What a glorious morning to be alive. And I've got to say, I am so excited for tonight's show. I know you're like, JG, you're never excited about a pay-per-view, it seems, anymore. And to be honest with you, for the most part, I'm really not. But tonight, we get to see Becky, Charlotte, and Asuka. So I am freaking stoked. The man finally returns to the ring to claim her throne. I'm so freaking excited. But we're not here to talk about TLC. There's a video that should be up shortly after this that actually is the predictions for our TLC show. But we are here to talk about the past week in the WWE. So, as I sit here Sunday morning, I'm trying to think back to this week in WWE. And was it a memorable week? No. Was it a bad week? Honestly, I can't really say it was. Once again, I did think Raw was kind of on a rinse and repeat cycle. Even with their main event, it just really was lackluster to me because we'll break down into that as we get a little further out. But man, to start it off, we'll start with Monday Night Raw. So Raw starts off this week, and we get a confrontation between Baron and Seth. And Seth just keeps pushing and pushing Baron after challenging him to a TLC match on Monday night. Baron finally has had enough, and he takes advantage of this. So he decides he's going to make himself versus Seth Rollins the main event in a TLC match for the Intercontinental Championship the Monday before TLC. I know a lot of you guys out there are like, oh, this was great. I love this. For me, it was just lackluster. I didn't expect the title to change hands. Even with everything going against Seth, at no point for even a split second did I think the title was going to change hands. So, I mean, for me, I guess that's really what made it lackluster. If there was any kind of a implication that we could have very well seen a title change, I think it would have done a lot more for me. But then we proceed on in the show, and we get a 3-on-2 match, AOP and Drake Maverick versus the Glorious Gables. And to be honest with you, once again, man, as soon as I seen Drake Maverick was included in the match, I automatically knew AOP was going to lose the titles. Not only that, Drake was going to be the one to take the pinfall. And it just once again resorts back to the comedy act that AOP has become. One of your most dominant forces on your roster. And these guys are just being treated like a comedy act at a club on Saturday night, and not a good one. And it's just tough to see these kinds of things, man. You have personally, I have such high expectations for AOP because I know they can literally revive your tag team division and take it to somewhere it hasn't been in a very, very long time. But instead, we continue with the comedy act. And they didn't even throw us for a swerve in this match. Like I said, as soon as I heard Drake Maverick was included in the match, I already kind of knew where the results were headed. So we get a Glorious Gable upset. They win the titles with a pinfall on Drake Maverick. And of course, this is going to lead to some kind of future storyline. Maybe even something we'll see tonight at TLC get resolved. But for me, this just really fell flat on its face. First off, because Glorious Gable is not that great of a tag team. I mean, in-ring, I'm not going to take away from the in-ring ability. Of course, both men are very talented. But as far as persona-wise, they're probably one of the most boring things out there. So I really don't know what the WWE's push with these two are. For me, neither one of these two should even be a tag team with each other. They should be back in solo competition. And Bobby Roode should be somewhere in the fight for the Intercontinental Championship. But instead, we got Glorious Gables, your new tag team Raw champions. like I said, just uneventful, man. Then we get more nonsense from Natalya. I don't even know what to say, man. I think the woman's just... I thought after the brand shakeup, she was one of the people who needed the most. And I thought SmackDown did an excellent job when she first came to SmackDown of promoting her like she was going to... Or sorry, when she first came to Raw, of promoting her like she was actually going to get somewhere. Instead, at this point, man, I find myself every time she comes out on TV being absolutely annoyed by her. Not only the constant crying and whimpering, the look of her face, she looks like a damn lion now. At what point are we allowed to say, stop with the plastic surgery? Stop with the facelifts? Natalya, you were once a beautiful, beautiful woman. Now you have just absolutely destroyed your face to the point where I think Joan Rivers when I look at it. And it gets me to thinking about TLC when I see her out on Monday night. It gets me to thinking, like, God, I hope Ruby Riott destroys Natalya and we get Natalya separated from Raw for months. For months. Like, I'm just overseeing her. She does nothing but irritate me the second she comes out of the back at this point. And that's how frustrating it is because I love Natalya. She is one of my favorite women wrestlers of all time. But at this current point in moment, I can't stand to see her on my TV. I feel no sympathy for her. Okay, and I'm sorry. We lost one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, in my opinion, when we lost Jim the Anvil Neidhart, her amazing father. And I understand how close they were. But at what point can we proceed to move beyond this and actually get to a storyline that doesn't include his death or somehow Ruby Riott disrespecting him? Because I don't want to see Natalya cry no more. If I got to see that whimpering face one more time, and that's my biggest fear about TLC, is that I'm gonna have to even see more of the whimpering face, and I can't stand it. I just absolutely cannot stand it. So then we proceed in the show. We get Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler in a rematch from the week before when Dolph was the first person to pin Drew McIntyre on Monday Night Raw. Drew McIntyre walks away victorious. The match itself I thought was actually really good, guys, but I never had a doubt with these two working with each other. But to be honest with you, I think Dolph walking away with the win in this would have done a lot more than Drew walking away. We already know Drew's a stud, man. He is a soon-to-be future Universal Champion. Dolph could have really used this. And I know there's a lot of you out there thinking, but Dolph has been around forever. Dolph has paid his dues. Everyone respects Dolph. That's not my purpose. Dolph could have used this to actually propel himself back in the championship hunt. Because as crazy as it sounds, I want to see him going for the Universal title here at some point. I mean, you already wasted when this man disappeared the last time after winning the, what was it, the IC belt, or I think it was the United States Championship belt. Then we see him return back to Raw with Drew McIntyre. Absolutely amazing. I personally thought you should have built an amazing stable beginning with these two. Somebody that would run all the gold on the Monday Night Raw program. Instead, it doesn't work that way. And now we're looking at this point like, really, what's in store for Dolph, especially coming out off this loss to Drew McIntyre? Then, man, we get Bayley and Alicia Fox. Belly to back. Alicia Fox loses. What's a shocker here? It's more shocking if we were to say Alicia Fox wins. I mean, so we're not going to really spend a lot of time even talking about this match. Then we actually get one of the matches I was most looking forward to on Monday Night Raw. And I know a lot of people out there are freaking irritated whenever they hear the name Lio Rush, let alone his voice. I'm not one of those guys. I think he is perfect for what Bobby Lashley needs. I think Lio Rush is irritating. I think he is confrontational. And I think he's that guy, whenever you see his face, you just want to punch it. But I am highly entertained by what this man is doing as Bobby Lashley's manager. With that being said, we get him in a Monday Night Raw match versus Elias. And it came out the way I actually expected it to come out, man. Lio Rush walks away victorious due to lots of help. And that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Okay, Elias doesn't have to win every match. That man is so hot right now. To be honest, I think the WWE should, for a little bit, give him the Daniel Bryan treatment where he just doesn't seem to get on top of anything. And then finally at WrestleMania, he gets his biggest moment to date. So really looking forward to how this continues tonight with Elias versus Bobby Lashley. But I'm also excited to see where this pursues to as we move into the new year, because this is one of the feuds that I actually enjoy, unlike a lot of others out there. Then we get, Alexa Bliss with Ronda Rousey and Nia face-to-face. And thank God this was cut short, because I don't think anybody in the WWE universe really wanted to see this, man. And this actually leads to a match between a singles match between Ember Moon and Tamina, with Ronda Rousey in Ember Moon's corner and Nia in Tamina's corner. The match itself, we didn't have high expectations. But I do enjoy watching Ember Moon anytime she graces us with her presence in the ring, because I think that woman is probably one of the most talented women wrestler I have ever seen to date. And I swear to Jesus, if you're one of these people who like, no, she's not a Charlotte or a Sasha or so on and so forth, we get it. We talk about it week to week. You're crazy. You really need to check yourself. So first off, as a woman, she has one of the best finishers, period. Whether you're a woman or a man, don't give a shit, man. The Eclipse is probably one of the best looking moves there is out there. I absolutely loved how she turns herself to land the stunner so good. So good. And I really never leave an Ember Moon match saying, I hated that. Now, when I see her in repeat matches versus Nia Jax getting slaughtered or Tamina getting slaughtered week to week, but this week we do get the repeat match between her and Tamina, Ember Moon walks away victorious. So this got me to thinking, could we really see a team up between Ronda Rousey and Ember Moon and Nia and Tamina as we progress forward? Because lo and behold, I don't think the feud between Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax ends tonight. And to be honest with you, I am absolutely disappointed with that. Man, then we come to the main event of Monday Night Raw. And before... Okay, so I'm just going to be completely 100% honest with you. The match itself I thought was good. Okay, there were points where I was on the edge of my seat. There were a couple points where I thought maybe, just maybe, Baron might walk away with it. But the majority of the match, it left me without any doubt that Seth Rollins was going to retain and move on to TLC as the Intercontinental Champion to face Dean Ambrose as he should. I mean, that completely makes sense to me. I don't see why you take the belt away from the Monday night before if you didn't do it a few weeks back. But it's one of those things, man. I really think out of everything involved between Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose right now, the IC belt is like an inanimate object. Okay, it really has no place in this match for me, because I don't think, to be honest with you, either one of these two need the IC belt. Especially not with this feud. This feud is so good. Okay, and don't get me wrong, Seth has been a fine Intercontinental Champion. When we were going through the whole spiel with him and Dean and the tag team champions, Drew McIntyre and Dolph Ziggler at the time, the IC belt was getting wasted. Now the WWE is seeing the mistake in their, or the fault in their mistakes, and they've gone ahead and started pushing the Intercontinental Champion as more of that high belt on the show. And it's kind of just one of those situations, well, of course you have to, because you made a stupid choice by putting the Universal Championship back on Brock Lesnar once again. Don't know what you think. I understand the cross promotion with the UFC, but Vince, you should have understood, and Dana too, Dana White too, you both should have understood at this point that yes, we as WWE fans do support Brock Lesnar. I mean, hell, man, I can literally remember sitting there in before Brock's, probably like 2 years before his first fight against Frank Mir in the UFC. I was sitting there with my buddy, and I actually told him, he's like, do you think any WWE wrestlers could actually fight in the UFC? And I told him there's a few I think could. Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar. I forgot who else I said at the time, but I promise you it was never CM Punk. I never once had this idea that CM Punk could fight in the UFC. I mean, watching him in the WWE put on his holds, you could see they were so loose. He never understood what he was doing. And then seeing him in the UFC, you understood, like, yes, you might have some BJJ training, but you still don't understand what you're doing. But I never had that doubt against Brock. So, I mean, I understand the WWE wanting to support Brock in this venture against Daniel Cormier for the the UFC heavyweight title in March. But with that being said, man, this was the time for you not to put the belt back on Brock. Okay, you should have just let Brock stay off and train, man. You're hurting your own show, and you're wondering why ratings are down. First off, if you're one of these people that's saying ratings are down because Roman Reigns isn't on there, I actually have enjoyed the shows more without Roman than with Roman. Like, Roman's not a thing. When you're pushing an agenda and you're trying to push some wrestler harder than he should be pushed, or just have him casted in the wrong role, in Roman's case being a babyface instead of a heel, that's not a reason you were getting decent ratings. The reason you were getting decent ratings is because people weren't completely fed up with the show. As I see week in, week out on social media, everywhere else, people make excuses for the WWE week to week. It's gotten to the point where you can't make any of those excuses anymore. And then you're only hurting your own product by not having the Universal Championship on what's supposed to be your premier flagship show. So you're blowing your own opportunities, because at this moment it should be Braun Strowman who is walking into TLC as the champion and is going to have a TLC championship match versus Baron Corbin, with the guidelines that if Baron wins, he will also remain the permanent Raw general manager. So for me, you're just failing by allowing Brock to recapture the gold. You're failing. You're failing your own product. And Vince McMahon, you have nobody to blame but yourself, because you're making these horrible freaking decisions, not us. Okay, if your product was good, I'd have no problem with it. There's many times we come on, and you'll see here, because we're about to start the SmackDown portion, and I actually thought SmackDown was pretty good this week. But you're hurting it. You're not booking people correctly. It's like you had the idea that after George Bush died, we all wanted to see just a babyface ran show where the baby faces walk away on top. Hey, don't nobody want to see that shit. We don't live back when everything was good guys and bad guys. We live in a time where we understand there is a huge gray area. And those wrestlers sitting in the gray areas are typically the ones we seem to like a lot more. So I blame nobody else but Vince McMahon for Raw's downfalls at this current moment in time. Because if you look at NXT, NXT has probably never been any hotter. And why? Because they have this man named Triple H who is just consistently running it left and right down there. And I'm not saying giving us what we want, but booking things to the point of, dude, you don't even have to watch the week-to-week shows to tune in to TakeOver and absolutely enjoy it. Do you think you could say the same thing about a WWE pay-per-view? Like, if you just went the year without watching Monday Night Raw or SmackDown, do you think you could tune into a WrestleMania, a Survivor Series, hell, lo and behold, the TLC, and make it enjoyable? For me, no. No, you can't. I sit here week to week and it's still not enjoyable. So why would it be enjoyable if I'm just flipping it on for a moment, you know? So it's just one of those things. But back to our TLC match. We get Seth winning with the curb stop, running up the ladder and grabbing the belt. At some point in this, I figured there would have been a point Dean Ambrose would have came out did something to try to set Seth Rollins back, but he didn't. So for me, that just kind of took away from their match here that we're going to see later today at TLC, because you're once again not throwing any real emphasis that these two are branded and can't stand each other. Yeah, Dean's did some things to interrupt him in his life, but I don't know. I think you just fell short with the ending of Raw this week. Not in the sense of not giving Baron the title, because I didn't want to see Baron with the title, but in the sense of Dean Ambrose just not playing a factor until after the match, then coming out and staring at Dean. Like, for me, this is kind of corny. Okay, like it's just really kind of corny, man. So let's hop over to the actual good show from the main rosters for the week, which was Monday Night SmackDown. Ooh, man. And so show kicks off with Daniel Bryan, who I just absolutely love. Like, and I'm not the biggest Daniel Bryan fan, and sometimes he really does fall flat for me. But I love the new Daniel Bryan. Like, initially I was very hesitant about it because it kind of felt very sloppy to me at the beginning. But holy shit, the way he dropped it on Tuesday night, I gotta say, it was absolutely amazing, man. Starts out by calling the WWE Universe a bunch of parasites. Wait, sorry. Apologizes to Sheep for calling the WWE Universe a bunch of sheep. Realizes the WWE Universe is nothing more than parasites, feeding off of everything, man. At this point, we see one of the best young talents in the game that I have been repping for an extremely long time. And this man's name is Mustafa Ali. Mustafa comes out and he tries to, tell Daniel, hey, man, you were the one that all of us looked up to in the back. No matter how much you got beaten down, you always came back bigger, stronger than ever. Daniel is on his green kick, being the pollution, the environmental cop that he is. And he asks Mustafa what he drives. Mustafa tells him it's an SUV. He's got wife, kids, things like that. Daniel proceeds to kick the crap out of Mustafa. This is how you book the start to a show, okay? Take lessons. Monday Night Raw, take lessons from Tuesday Night SmackDown, because what you did in this right now is you took your new upcoming talent. I don't really want to call him new because Mustafa's been with the WWE for quite a while, but as far as people seeing him on a week-to-week basis on the bigger shows, you bring what they would consider new talent that they had never seen before. You put him in a Starcase match to start the show with Daniel Bryan. The match was freaking phenomenal, man. From the start to the closing bell, the match was absolutely phenomenal. Even though Daniel Bryan does win with the heel hook in this match, Mustafa Ali, to me, comes out of this match looking the strongest because he put on one hell of a performance. Not only that, showed his first night on SmackDown that he could hang with the big dog, who is currently our WWE champion, and the new Daniel Bryan. Don't let me disrespect the man. And it was just phenomenal. And yes, I would have liked to see Mustafa Ali walk away victorious in this. But at the same time, I understood why he could not, because you need to continue building the new Daniel Bryan the way he's getting built right now, which is damn near unstoppable and willing to do anything to win a match. But with all that said, you continue to build Mustafa Ali, so you already have me looking forward to his next performance, his next match on SmackDown, as I know there's a lot of you out there that feel the exact same way. And this man could very well, in the future, at a later date, be a WWE champion. Because for me, Mustafa Ali has it all. In-ring ability, great mic skills, not the best mic skills I've ever seen, but great, man. Especially for the position that he was brought into this Tuesday night. Absolutely thought it was amazing, man. So Daniel Bryan wins with a heel hook. The match was absolutely phenomenal. Please go back, take your time, and watch this match. You will thank me later. Absolutely phenomenal. Mustafa Ali is a name you need to know now, because here in the future, he will be a freaking star. And we've been saying this at KliqpodGaming for the longest. Then we continue to move on. And this was probably... Yeah. So we get a rap battle hosted by the New Day between The Bar and the Usos. Somehow the Usos walk away victorious. For me, I thought, honestly, The Bar did it better in this situation. Say what you want. You guys all know out there. If you're new to the channel, then maybe you don't. But I absolutely loved all Usos. My dream tag team match as of this moment is the Usos versus the Young Buck. I want to see the super party kick from hell, man. But with that being said, I thought they fell flat on Tuesday night. I had higher expectations for these guys. If you guys don't know, I am one of those ones who listens to rap. It's not the only thing I listen to. It's not even predominantly what I listen to, but I do love me some rap. So I understand what the Usos were trying to do, but all they really reminded me of was like a street corner preacher. That's what they really reminded me of in this rap-off. It wasn't to the likes of what we've seen between Spanky and Cena, or Cena and Kurt Angle. John Angle. Kurt Angle. It wasn't to those magnitudes for me. And I actually thought what the Usos came out with was very, very basic, man. It was just made for people who don't listen to rap, so you can understand that he was throwing a rap kind of flow in there. I didn't really think there was a lot of good metaphors or anything along those lines. There were a couple punchlines where they caught me, but I thought overall The Bar was much more entertaining during this segment. And for me personally, with Ice Ice Sheamus, or Ice Ice Shay Baby, or whatever it was, that was the winner in my heart, man. So I don't know. If that's something you guys want to check out, go ahead and check it out. But for me, I mean, it was just something that felt really lackluster. Maybe we'll get it done again at a later date, but with the Usos showing their true ability. Because, yo, y'all kill it in the ring. Y'all kill it in the mic. But I got to say, on Tuesday night, wasn't that hype. Then, man, we get The Miz calling out Shane. Because the Miz is going through things. He just wants to be tag team partners with Shane McMahon. And Shane McMahon just keeps saying, like, F you, F you, F you. So anyways, man, Miz has the idea of throwing Shane McMahon and himself into a tag team match versus some Las Vegas locals. Crazily enough, Shane puts on his game face, puts on his size whatever he wears shoes, and he actually delivers. So this week, the Miz and Shane do not lose to the hometown locals. Thank you, Jesus. Because if I'd have seen them lose again, I'd have said just cut both of them from the roster, all right? Then we get Randy Orton, man. And I love heel Randy. Okay, I love heel Randy. And heel Randy's coming out, and he's doing more talking about Rey Mysterio and the mask and how treasured it is, and how much of a prize it is to him. But then Ray decides he's going to come out and attack Randy Orton with the chair. And you know what? It was nice seeing him get a little bit of an upper hand. But for me, this is just another moment, man. I just want to see Randy destroy Orton, or Randy destroy Ray. Sorry to all you Ray fans out there. It's nothing that I have against the man. I just want to see Randy destroy him. I just think the rest of this year and all the way up until WrestleMania next year on SmackDown should be known as the Year of the Viper. All right, because this man is just doing absolutely amazing things, making everything so damn interesting with him, whether it's a 1-minute segment to one of his matches. Everything is just pure gold coming out of this man right now. When he shits gold. It's just that simple. So I'm looking for us to see not only a continuation, but an ending to this at TLC tonight. Hopefully, we get Randy Orton walking away victorious with a bloodied Rey Mysterio leaving in the ring. But everything inside of me is telling me we might actually see Ray walk away victorious. Stay around and check out our TLC prediction show to see what I actually went with. Man. Then we get Jeff Hardy and Rusev versus Samoa Joe and Shinsuke Nakamura. Match was very entertaining. These are actually 4 people I like seeing in a tag match. And to be honest with you, going forward, I would not have a problem seeing Samoa Joe and Shinsuke just working together in tandem. So I have high expectations for the WWE showing me this. Now continue to deliver and give me what I want, which is Samoa Joe and Shinsuke working together, man. But unfortunately, Shinsuke and Samoa Joe can't put it all together this first night. And we get Jeff and Rusev actually walking away victorious, man. And that brings us to our main event. The first time since WrestleMania, we see Charlotte Flair versus Asuka. And one hell of a match. But before we can get a winner, the match absolutely breaks down. Becky gets involved, man. We are left at the end of the night with Asuka standing on top of the announcer's table, holding the kendo stick with the other two women laid out on the ground, almost as if the WWE was wanting you to believe she actually has a chance tonight in TLC's match. Now, do I believe that she has a chance in tonight's TLC match? We'll talk about it in a minute, but I'm pretty sure if you went back to a couple of weeks ago when she actually won this match and listened to the review, you can already tell which way I'm leaning. But I thought for Tuesday night, this was an excellent way to the show. In the show, I thought from top to bottom, SmackDown did excellent. If I had to give a letter grade for the show itself, I'd probably give it a B to a B minus, which right now, nowadays, for the WWE, that is high numbers. I don't know how more fans aren't tuning over to SmackDown because SmackDown is actually doing things right. And I hope they continue this trend through tonight's TLC. And with that being said, we're not done because guess what? We got 2 more shows to talk about. Woo! So, this week on NXT, man, we get EC3 versus Bobby Fish. What? EC3? This is a man I have been waiting to talk about, man. If you're new to the channel, if you're returning, man, I watch a lot of wrestling. I mean, I watch anything from Impact to Lucha, man, crap wrestlings, local promotions. Actually here within, I don't know, maybe their next show, maybe the next event we have out here in this Colorado, I'm going to go check out CSW. I got a buddy that does a podcast and some work with them. From everything I see, it looks phenomenal, so I actually want to go check them out. So I'm a huge just wrestling guy in general. I'll never forget when I saw EC3 introduce his Dixie Carter's nephew. This man was annoying. I thought he was very stiff in the ring. He had that good bodybuilder look, but it's just not really something that catches on to me. It's like I've never been the guy who was a Batista fan. I was the Randy Orton fan because Randy is just more built to the way that I am. So, I mean, I guess that does subconsciously have something to do whether I'm going to be a fan or not. But what I've seen from EC3 from that day to where he currently is in his career, the difference between night and day. This man has came leaps and bounds, seemed more natural on the microphone. His in-ring ability is just looking amazing. This man is built like a freaking god, and he has the look that you would love to see on a future champion, man. So this week on NXT, we get EC3 versus Bobby Fish, man. EC3 is victorious with a quick roll-up, 1, 2, 3. Thought this was well done, and just continues to build to EC3 as we continue to move on, man. Then we get the Mighty versus Oni Lorcan and Danny Burch, man. And I gotta say, I was really entertained with this match, man. From start to finish, I really enjoyed all of it, man. We get Danny Burch and Oni walking away victorious. Huge double team from the two. They get the 1, 2, 3, walk away victorious. Let's go, man. Looking good. Then we get another woman that I freaking love, man. Miem. This woman is amazing, man. From Impact to her in the Mae Young Classic to seeing her on NXT, man. This woman is absolutely amazing. And then we see her in a match versus Renee Gonzalez. Miem advances in the Fatal 4-Way #1 contender to the #1 contender match, man. Absolutely love this, man. Way to go, me. It is so great seeing you over here in NXT, and I know you will be a future women's NXT champion sooner than rather than later, man. And I am very excited for it because I think this woman just brings a whole style to the game. that will really continue to add to how incredible the women's division is on NXT, and then how much talent they have throughout all rosters when it comes to the women's division. Now, I'm not saying all women's divisions are good, because as we know, Raw's women's division is a complete and utter joke. Man, I've been sitting watching Ronda Rousey as champion for the longest, and we're actually going to do a video, I think, breaking down. I don't know. We'll come back to that, man. And then we get Tyler Breeze versus Ricochet. And if you didn't watch this match, first, smack yourself in the face. Second, hop on YouTube, WWE Network, and watch this. This was freaking amazing. Not only was it excellent to see freaking Tyler Breeze actually getting a return to action where he's not just pissed all over. And I actually think Tyler Breeze being back down in NXT is going to do huge things for him, because he's a top performer. I mean, it's just really that simple. And then to put him up with Ricochet, who's probably one of my favorite wrestlers in the game. Ever since I first seen him as Prince Puma and Lucha, I've been absolutely hooked, man. And then from his Lucha matches, his matches with Will, just this guy is absolutely amazing. He will be your future WWE champion. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about this one. If the WWE doesn't put the strap on him at some point, they're the ones making the mistake, nobody else. Or, to be honest with you, I feel Ricochet is the man who could take the title from or the IC championship from Seth Rollins at this current moment in time and make it so prestigious. That is the belt we want to look forward to week. And not taking anything away from Seth, I just think Ricochet is that much more gifted. Not on the microphone, but in-ring ability, he just has one of those styles that leaves everybody who watches it absolutely captivated, man. But we get Ricochet winning by pinfall here, continuing his reign as the North American champion. So once again, NXT delivers as they do week to week. I can't really think of a week that I've ever looked back and said, damn, NXT just really wasn't there this week. So I don't know, maybe that week will come for us one day down the line, but for the time being, guys, NXT is going to be our favorite show to talk about. Man, and then let me drop something on you guys. What is up? Next, we're going to talk about the NXT UK review. And you're like, what? Shout out to all my brothers over in the UK and my big brother Graphics Flam, man, been doing big things. If you're not following Graphics Flam, please go out there, follow him on any of your social medias and your YouTubes as well, man. But I love NXT UK. I love the idea that they decided to do a NXT UK show. I love that the champion is nobody other than who it should be, Pete Dunne. And this man has literally grown on me. When I first seen Pete Dunne, he comes out in that singlet, thin. I won't lie, with the big, fur coat. I was just laughing, dying, man. I'm like, are you kidding me? Then I seen him work in the ring, and I was like, holy shiesta, man. And the more I've seen this man in the ring, the way he carries himself, that look on his face of just, I smelled shit and I just want to whoop somebody's ass. Pete Dunne's absolutely amazing. I don't see the UK belt changing anytime soon. And how good is it that the WWE UK did it right, man, by making Pete Dunne the champ? I know a lot of you are like, that's the obvious thought out there, Justin. Well, of course. But Pete Dunne is a killer, man. And that's what you got to watch, man. Just the way he does everything. The littlest of details, the look on his face. I mean, this man has absolutely grown on me. He is currently one of my favorite wrestlers in the game. Top 10 somewhere, I don't know where, of current wrestlers. But I absolutely love Pete Dunne. So, yeah, that is a huge reason why we will be covering the UK show week to week. But not only that, because I got huge love for my guys over in the UK, man. Lived in Germany for 4 years of my life. I know that's technically not the UK, it's just Europe in general, but got mad love for my UK brothers and sisters. We got mad love for everybody across the globe. But man, what a good show, man. We get Dave Mastiff defeating Eddie Dennis. What? Yeah, this shit happened, man. That shit happened real good, man. Then we get, man, Marley Coffee and Wolfgang defeating Ashton Smith and Ligera. What? Dude. And I gotta say, honestly, going into the show, I didn't have high expectations. I didn't have low expectations. I don't even really think I had expectations. I was just kind of waiting to see what the show would deliver to me. And for me, for this only being episode 2, I thought they came out with an absolute bang, man. Not only that, they start... I'm excited to see who becomes the first tag team UK champions. All right, this is something I am really looking forward to. Like I said, man, I love wrestlings from anywhere. Anywhere. I don't care where it is. You could tell me there's somebody in your local back neck of your woods throwing on matches, and I'll go check them out. I might not enjoy them, but I'll go check them out, man. And for me, this is huge because I really want to see what NXT UK does for launching not so much Pete Dunne, because he's already there, I think, in my eyes. But everybody else coming out from over there, man. Like Joseph Connors, man. He defeats Jack Starr in this week's match. The match itself, I thought, was absolutely phenomenal. We had some highlights. We had some lowlights. There were a few kind of sloppy spots. But I thought the way it was delivered to me was absolutely phenomenal. And see, these are the kinds of stars that I want to see what they do with them. With the success of NXT, with us knowing that Triple H behind the scenes is also doing NXT UK, this is a very exciting moment. Because I think in the future, this could lead to cross promotions. Like when you say NXT TakeOver, it's just not generalized to... it's just not specific to NXT USA. It also includes NXT UK. Then maybe we could see a champion versus champion match. Pete Dunne versus whoever is our current NXT champion at the time. I think those would be amazing things. And then in the final match of this week, we get Jenny defeating Brookside. So, I mean, all in all, NXT did an outstanding job. Only episode 2 of NXT UK. Really excited to see what episode 3 brings. Not only that, really excited to see the way they build towards their first NXT takeover, NXT TakeOver UK. That, I don't know, I think it's going to be absolutely phenomenal. But with that being said, guys, overall, the WWE actually had a really good week this week, minus a few slip-ups on Monday Night Raw. They had a really good week. Now, can they continue this week's success with tonight's TLC? That'll be way to be seen. But as for me, I'm actually about to disappear out of here, hop on and do that TLC review, and then I got to get ready for my Patriots and Steelers games today. So shout out to my boys. Let's beat the Steelers, get this number 2 seed, and keep rolling with it. But with all that being said, guys, please enjoy TLC tonight. I will also be back later tonight with a TLC review on top of it, because that's the one thing we won't stop is our pay-per-view reviews. But with all that being said, let me stop rambling. As always, take it easy. Wait, what do we always say? Oh, take names, kick ass, and peace.